I'm actually going to try and stop saying this video. This is Xhynk or Reverend. Sorry, I think I just cut out there for a moment. We are going to go over my take on Rivenscar Ruins, the PvP map from the MMO Neverwinter. It is designed as a strongholds map, but Capture the Flag works as well. Though it was an afterthought, I believe it'll end up working out pretty well, though I haven't had the chance to actually test it with anybody yet. So we'll go ahead and spawn in as red team. And this works a little bit more similarly to a MOBA or MMO PvP match that some of us are used to, in the fact that we all spawn in the same spot regardless of where and when you died and where the enemy is located at, compared to traditional Halo arena matches where you would spawn typically wherever there's an open, uncontested area. That is not the case for this map, and we will go over why here in just a moment. So you have two major decisions, or two major options when you first spawn into this map. So regardless of which side you're on, as it is a fully symmetrical map. So your first two options are to sprint down here and capture your own stronghold, or to jump into the fray and try and capture either center mid or your opponent's stronghold. And your opponents are about 30 feet behind this wall, so odds are they're going to send one or two people to go capture their own stronghold first as well. So since I like to play pretty aggressively, we'll run through that scenario first. So you can jump down here and you can boost almost all the way off the ledge, but we have a battle rifle that spawns right here. And then your first encounter with the enemy is relatively quickly right here in the gate. So that scatter shot is was a tier 2 quasi power weapon, and it's highly sought after, and it's really pretty good on a map like this to help get around corners. But this is where they will spawn up there, and they have an identical, just mirrored version of what we have over on the red team. So they'll spawn down, and you're at the very least, you're going to see people sprint by the gate here up to center mid, which will be a heavily contested point, as it'll be the major swaying point between whether your team's scoring or not. And we will go over why that's the case here shortly. So while we're still in center mid, this DMR doesn't seem like much of a power weapon, but you have a clear shot all the way down to their base. You can, if you're quick enough, you can grab a shot or two on the enemy as they jump down. The odds of you being able to kill them are pretty slim, because the borders to their shields are still parallel with this box, so you don't have a ton of room. But you can always lie in wait and hope they come running down center mid. But let's say you cleared this out, or you wanted to skip the fray completely right out of the gate and run into the most unorthodox part of this map and trying to get the Spanker rocket launcher. You can see it in the first video clip of the introduction that it's floating way up there, and with no platform, there's no scripting in this map yet. So the major things to consider are, when you come up here, you're still very exposed until you get a lot further up the stairs.
10 seconds to DMR.
So you can grab your overshield, and then there's no direct path to the rocket launcher. You have to come up this little ramp and then jump and boost across to grab the rockets. You can see both teams have a perfectly equal chance of getting to it. And then from either over here, up on these platforms, you have a great view of center mid, great view of the other staircase. But another thing to consider is right up here, you can sit up here and lie in wait for the opposing team to come to center mid and get your ground pound on. Let's say up you want to come and play a more offensive play and try and capture this base. You can see you can't, part of why we put shields up there is so you can't kind of troll the dead, but they can absolutely troll and face roll you. So more than likely they'll see that their base is being uncaptured or being captured for the first time, and will come running after their first death if they don't come running up the main stairs or around the back up off the platforms. So you're pretty exposed down here, and if you die, it's a relatively large hit because they'll be able to come down and capture this base before you'll have a chance to come back and try and grab it. Conversely, that works for you as well. Once you die, you can hop straight back down through that little side gate and end up on your base. So you can see there's not really a way to get back up to the second floor from wherever you're at without coming all the way over the stairs. So you have to make a really conscious decision whether you want to take that risk or not. But it's or I suppose you can get here if you die and hop down, of course. But you can always lie in wait, play some base defense, and as they come in, of course if you're crouched they can't see you on the radar, and then you've got a perfect kind of vantage point on them. They do have a little bit of cover underneath here to prevent that kind of thing, but the capture point only hangs under the overhang just a hair. So they can't really use that to their advantage to capture the base.
Gain the lead.
So we have a standard 8-second respawn, and anytime you die, you end up back up here in your base. And it's got shields, so it's got your team shields, so you can't shoot through it. Your enemy can't come up to it even if they found a way. Grenades can't leave, grenades can't enter, so you have time to kind of recoup and figure out what you want to do. You want to come back down here and grab your base. You want to come back here, grab the carbine, protect your base. Or you can come back and, of course, go back for the rocket launcher. So the rocket launcher, the main thought behind that is to kind of prevent the easy walk over and grab it as it spawns on the weapon pad. You have to make a really conscious decision to go for it. And if you're flustered, you can pretty easily fall off this ramp, or you can bounce off the column, or you can bounce off the pad itself and miss your rockets and end up rocketless and most likely dead. So there's not a ton of trick jumps in here. There's a couple little places you can hide and lie in wait. But it's mostly intended to be really pretty fast-paced. If you're out in the open, you either need to fight or die. And then the overshields are nice. Both teams have them. So it's not a single advantage if one team can get theirs or not. You both have an equal shot to getting one. So for the most part, that's pretty much how this map will play. There's a couple
40-point run.
upper vantage points, but of course they're hard to get to because you have to come up the stairs or hop down from your base. And they can see a pretty good chunk of the field. They can see center mid, they can see their hallway, and then of course the outer ring over here can get a full view of the appropriate team's base. So
Halfway to victory.
yep, I'm excited to play this with you guys. and hopefully not get my ass kicked too hard.
Stronghold captured. Total control. Nearing victory. 80 points. Victory imminent. Game over. Victory.